Hi guys, I am Noman Wali. Today I am going to discuss essential points which every student should keep in his mind. Every paper in ACCA has separate paper technique. First we have to understand the structure of exam. So first thing is structure. You need to understand the basic structure of F1 exam. There are two type of sections in F1 exam. First section is objective type, which consists of 46 questions. There are two sections, section A and section B. So section A will have total 76 marks. There are 30 questions with 2 marks each, that will be 60 marks, and there are 16 questions with 1 mark each, and there will be 16 marks, so total 76 marks. So section A will have total 76 marks and section B will have total 24 marks. There will be 6 questions with 4 marks each and there will be total 24 marks. So you need to realize and you need to understand the structure. It will be very easy for you to plan your exam. So basically you are going to tackle two types of questions. One type of question will be in section A, second type of question will be in section B. So there are two types. One is MCQ and second is MTQ. MCQs will be in section A and MTQs will be in section B. So first we will study MCQs. We need to understand the nature and approach of examiner for MCQs in F1. MCQs are basically multiple choice questions. More than one reasons are given for each question. There is possibility that one option is correct and there is also possibility that more than one options are correct in the question. If more than one option is correct, you have to choose all options, otherwise examiner will give you zero number in that area. So in MCQs, if there is one option which is correct, you have to select that option. If there are two correct options, you have to select two options if you want to get full marks. If there are three questions which are correct, you have to select all three questions, otherwise you will be given zero marks in that question. Okay. If we take an example, if question has four options A, B, C and D, there is MCQ number 1. Here is narration and answers are A, B, C and D. So option B and C are correct and you have selected only B option. Examiner will not give you any number because you have to select both B and C in that question, otherwise you will be given 0 marks. There is one more problem in MCQs, so you need to understand that problem, that some questions are more confusing because student feel all options are correct in this, but this is only one option correct. In this case you have to think and go with most reasonable and near to question option. This will solve your trouble. So this was the MCQ area. You have to tackle MCQ area with very clever mind. Now I'm going to give you two examples of MCQ from real exam, like example is given in this paper. I'm going to read the question. Which two of the following are potential consequences of a listed company failing to file its accounts? We have to give two consequences if listed company fails to file its annual accounts or final return. So there are four options are given. First option is refusal of external auditor to sign the financial accounts. There is no link between external auditor and filing of accounts, because unlisted companies and any company which is not filing accounts can hire external auditor, and external auditor has no issue to sign the financial accounts if they fail to file accounts. So there is no such requirement in this profession. Second is so I will not select one because it is not right answer. Second is imposition of a fine uh, by the government's company registration body. That can be a problem if listed company fails to file its account, because listed company has specific regulations to follow. So government can impose, or any given authority or any regulatory authority can impose fine on company. So I will select this option, but I will not go to next question before reading other two options. Third option is investigation of financial affairs by government department or agency. uh, this is not some case of fraud that listed companies not filing its accounts or failing to file its accounts. There can be a fine for this failure, but investigation cannot start, because this is not a fraudulent activity. So I think this is not a right answer. Number 4 is suspension of dealings in securities by the stock exchange. That can be a problem, because listed companies are listed on stock exchange, and your securities can face a delay, so there can be suspension. And I think these are two both right answers. If uh, I have not selected option 4, then examiner will not give me full marks. Examiner will give me only full marks if I will select both two options. So in MCQs you will have to read options very carefully, because you need to select all right options, otherwise you will not get any mark in it. So that is the question in which there are more than one options are correct. Now I'm going to give you an example where only one option is correct. So this is the which of the following main function of marketing. ठीक है. First, to identify suitable outlets for goods and services supplied. No, marketing has no such objective that you have to identify suitable outlets. This is the task of distribution department. Second is to persuade potential customers to convert latent demand into expenditure. It can be a priority, but it is not primary objective of marketing. When you are reading the question, you have to understand what is question, what is the purpose of question. Purpose of question is main function of marketing. Main function of marketing is always to identify the customer needs. And C, option C is to identify and estimate customer needs. That is right answer. And fourth is to maximize sales volume. Sales volume is not purpose of main purpose of marketing department. It can be purpose of or objective of sales or marketing, but it is not primary objective. So this was the question where only one option was correct. Now we will move to MTQs. So second section is MTQs. These are multiple task questions. One or more than one scenarios are given in this section. Let's suppose there is a scenario, lines are given, you have to read all lines. After these lines you are given question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5 and question 6, and you will be given multiple options for it, and you have to select that options after reading the scenario. After scenario, you are given multiple options. In this section you can get marks on pro rata basis. Unlike MCQs, here if there are three correct options and you have selected only two options, you will be given 66% marks in that question, because these are marked as marked on the basis of pro rata. So it is good sign for you, and it is good for you if you have not selected all correct options, still you can get marks in MTQs. Now most difficult part in MTQ section is scenario reading and making linkage between scenario and question. You should be very focused while reading scenario. You should focus on important information in scenario, because it will save your time reading again and again. If you see this, see these are the lines. I have not written anything, but if you think that you have to read first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, seventh line, and you have to memorize all the data, and you have to check the important information that will be used in next questions. So this will be a tough job for you to read the scenario, and you will have to read the scenario very careful, because after reading scenario you will have to create linkages between the scenario and the question. Then you will be able to answer these questions carefully. After MCQs and MTQ approaches, I'm going to explain some tricky points of F1 study and exam technique. There are some tricky points. First, First, read all topics very critically and apply your knowledge in the different aspects, so you will be ready to perform better to unseen questions. Critical reading. So your first step in F1 study, that you will have to read all concepts very critically. If you will read all concepts critically, you will be able to tackle exam questions very easily if you have some critical command on all type of concepts. Second thing is, you need to study deeply the concepts of organization, structure, culture, policies, management. You have to feel like accountant, that there is some hiring going on in company, there is some decision making going on, there is some leadership concepts, there are some ethics that organizations should follow and organization should act upon. So second is deep study of all aspects of organization. Third is adopt the habit of discussion of concepts with other fellows, and try to listen to others and explain your point of view to others. It will increase your chances to get the right concept very easily. So third point is discussions. First, read the topic, understand the concept, and discuss with other fellows, so you can understand that you can understand that other persons are perceiving that concept same as you are perceiving, or there can be difference between two individuals. It will increase your knowledge. Fourth one is do maximum revision, so you are mentally ready for exam. Try to do one exam before actual exam, so you will be ready to tackle exam situation. So fourth is maximum revision and mock before exam. So you have to do maximum revision. You can do it by kit, you can do it by doing some past papers, and you have to perform one mock exam before actual exam in same situation as you are sitting in real exam. And next is time management and pressure management. In exam, time management and pressure management is key skill. If you are not able to understand one question, move to next question. Don't give extra time to any question. It will increase your confidence and you will get more marks in exam, because time management is very important. Because if you are losing time, it means you are losing confidence. If you are losing confidence, you are not going to understand the questions, and you are not using your mind very carefully. So time management, if you manage your time very well, it will reduce the exam pressure on your mind. Next is requirement. Understand requirement. In the end, most important thing is requirement. Please read requirement very carefully. If you read requirement carefully, you will achieve 50% milestone after reading the requirement carefully. Other 50% milestone is selection of your suitable choice. So don't overlook the requirement, because if you understand the requirement critically and carefully, it will increase it will increase your chances to get your right answer, because requirement is key to solve your question with greater success and with greater chances to select right answer. So these were the critical aspects of F1 study and exam. You should keep in your mind all these aspects. I'm sure it will increase your chances to pass F1 exam. And in the last, do your hard work, and do your hard work with intelligence. Just hard work will not let you pass ACC exam. See you guys, and see you in next video.